Man, it has been a while. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, I usually take a break from YouTube once a year, but to keep it real with you guys, it's usually not this long. We're going on, over a month now? And I do apologize because I'm ready to get back to regular content for you guys. I actually have a ton of videos scheduled coming up on not this car, but a car that you guys have seen on the channel before but haven't seen for a while, and that I no longer own. But I have a ton of videos coming up on it, like maybe 3 or 4, and then we're going to jump into some new content. So today is the last video, well, the second to last video that I'm going to be filming on my 1996 Toyota Camry LE, really kind of messed up project car. And today we're going to kind of be wrapping that project up. We're going to be going through everything that I'm going to leave broken for the previous owner. And I'm going to tell you guys the plans for this. And make sure you're tuned in for the next video because it's going to be a fun one. So I do really apologize for not having had a video on the channel in over a month on this channel or on my other channel or even on my personal YouTube channel. I haven't filmed any videos or made any videos or put any videos up in a long time, and I've been super busy with work, and my wife and I just got puppies. So everyone meet the Pyrenees. So this is Millie. She's fun. She's the wild one. This is Sky. She's got her spots still. Millie's our naughty one. She's always trying to escape, but Sky's the one that loves to play and fight and be snuggled, and she's trying to bite my pant leg as we speak. And this little fighting girl right here is our big girl. She's Maggie, and she's a lot of fun too, but she really thinks she's a house dog, which these are Pyrenees. They're going to be like 90 pounds. She's not a house dog. And we're actually supposed to be taking her to Idaho to my mother-in-law, but they're kind of moving houses, and I don't know if that's going to happen, unfortunately. We don't really have the space here for the dogs. Of course, we built a really nice pen for them with quite a bit of room, but gosh, we're going to have to move soon or try to build a house or something because these girls are just going to overtake the grounds. But they're an awful lot of fun. They really are. So I'll have to throw up some pictures of them here maybe at the end of the video for the outro instead, huh? But yeah, they're a lot of fun. So we've got Sky, Millie, and Maggie. So the first thing that we need to do to get this car ready to sell is remove these old plates. Now I feel really bad because I bought this car in February. It's now November, and I've never registered it or titled it in my name. So whoever gets the car is going to have to pay almost a full year of back registration, at least if they register it here in Wyoming. And that's kind of an issue, kind of a problem. But registration here in Wyoming is so expensive, I don't really want to take it in and register it, just for the sole purpose of passing it off to the next person. This has been a project car. It's been driven maybe 15 miles in the last year, and it's just not worth it for me to register it. But if somebody does want this car and wants to drive it on the road, they are going to have to pay that back registration, unfortunately. Now, because I don't like buying cars that are missing the license plate mounting hardware, and I have bought many, I usually put these back where they go, but instead I'm going to put them in the glove box for now. And clearly, I mean, have you ever seen such long screws? These are not the correct ones for the car, but they're going to go back in the glove box for the next owner. And apparently this car was actually registered until March of this year. Now the next issue that needs addressed on this car before we can sell it is under the hood here. And that's because its windshield washer fluid, or the windshield washer cleaning system, is actually an engine cleaning system currently. When the previous owner put this beautiful new hood on after whatever happened to the front end of this car, they just cut the windshield washer fluid hose that leads up to the sprayers that sprays out on the windows, which you can imagine I try to use every time I drive the car because it sits so long that it gets covered in filth. And of course, I'm not going to pressure wash it every time I use it. So every time I try to take it out, I try to use that, and I fill the engine bay with windshield washer fluid. So I have bought the 65-piece kit from O'Reilly's, which, against better odds, you should probably order this on Amazon. And it has everything that we need in it to hook this windshield washer fluid system back up, which is actually probably just this guy right here. 1 out of 65. Let me just demonstrate this issue for you real quick. Let me go kick that windshield washer fluid pump on. Oh yes, a clean engine, I guess, is the sign of a well-maintained car, but we're going to fix this up properly so that we can have a clean window and not wreck when we're driving. So here is my connector, or my coupler from the Dorman kit. These are easy. They don't need a clamp. They're not under any pressure, and you literally just wiggle it on in there. Now it is at kind of an odd angle, so I probably should cut this down, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to stick it right on. And there you have it, working windshield washers on this car now, finally. It could definitely use some new windshield wipers, so we're going to go ahead and add that to the first thing on the list of the next segment of what all is broke or left to be repaired on this car. Alright, so clearly, as you can see, this car still needs a lot of work on the outside. So, in the previous videos, we replaced the power steering pump in this car. We also did some work to the exhaust system to quiet it down. The old exhaust had rotted out. It was really bad. We also fixed this door handle right here from the previous owner, stealing the car from himself. He locked the keys in the car or something, at least was the story I got. So hopefully he was the actual owner. This tumbler does not work, neither does the tumbler on the other side, so those need replaced. If I have time, I'll do it, but it's not going to get done, so just know that. And I think this one's missing a bolt that I was going to go buy and put back in when I did the tumbler, so just know that. And if you need to know how to get this apart, go jump back on the channel and watch the video on how to replace that door handle, because this is the original white and this is the current white on the car, so it looks pretty funny. You might want to do the other three. Of course, the paint and the body is not perfect in any way, and there are some rust spots around the fenders. The hood doesn't match and the bumper doesn't match, so you know, whoever buys this is probably not going to fix the outside of the body. Maybe they're going to pull the engine and the trans and use in something else. But the interior is in really good condition. I'm going to actually go ahead and wipe it down a little bit before I sell it because it has gotten a little dusty from just sitting. But I kept a window shade in it while it sat, and the interior's in really great shape. So if you are going to drive this car, it would make a really good driver. Even though the interior is in really amazing condition, there are still a few issues with it. So the previous owner put in an aftermarket radio that actually works really well, but I've been hooking it up to a cord, or you can hook it up via USB. I don't know if it has Bluetooth or not, but it has a CD player, and the radio feature itself does not work very good. It will only tune into about one station, and I would work on that and figure that out, but I just don't have time right now, and I'm not that tech or that sound or audio or electronic savvy with this. I'd rather focus my time and efforts on some other projects that I have going on. So that radio is going to stay as is in the car right now, but it will definitely need some work if you're planning on listening to the radio a lot instead of just audio books or music off your old MP4 player or iPod, something with a headphone jack, because that's what this has. And I'm trying to think if this car has any other issues. As far as I know, all the windows work as they should. All of the door locks work as they should. You just don't lock it. You can't get back into the car because those tumblers aren't working. So I haven't locked it. Air conditioning works great. Everything else seems to work great. I know the previous owner replaced this steering wheel and the whole console, or the whole thing coming up to it. I'm not sure why, but works great. Cruise works, blinkers, all that stuff works. 150,000, almost 500 miles. So it's got a few miles, but for the year and for what it is, it's really, really low. And I'm guessing those were quite hard miles. When I bought the car, it hadn't had the oil changed in a really long time. Of course, the previous owner said it was all current, but it wasn't. Unless they hadn't changed the sticker, I don't know. The oil didn't look horrible. It's now on a current full synthetic 1030 oil change, and it's ready to roll out the door, which I'm excited about. This car has literally sat in my driveway for the past year, just taking up space. I've moved it around now and again. I take it out and drive it at night sometimes because I don't think I'll get caught as bad on the registration issue. And I've just been working on it when I have time to make content for you guys. Kind of a lame build, kind of a lame car to work on. I thought that my parents were gonna get it and just use it as kind of a really, in case of a need of a spare car type thing, or to run around town. But the outside of the car looked a lot better when I went and looked at it with 6 inches of thick icy snow on it in February of last year, or of this year, I guess, still. And now that I have it back and it's all clean, this poor car has really, really been through the ringer. So it'd make a great donor car, but it's also mechanically sound now. It would make a great driver. So I literally fixed everything that would make this car undrivable or unusable. It's now drivable. It's now usable. It's going to last someone, if they decide to drive it, a really long time. It just looks so hideous on the outside. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Again, I apologize. I haven't had content on the channel for a little while, but that's going to change starting next week. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel because I'm bringing back one of my favorite cars of all time, the car that I owned for almost 4 years, 3 years actually, that I put 10,000 miles on and that I really, really enjoyed driving, and that unfortunately I had to sell because I didn't use it very much. So tune into the channel next weekend for that video. Don't miss it. The next video on this car that you're going to see is kind of a walk around and overview, virtual tour, if you will, that I'm going to put on the listing when I go and try to sell it. So if you want more Camry content, of course, I own a 95 Camry, and there will be more on the channel in the future. So subscribe right now if you're here for the SVX10, because as terrible as they are, I love them. They're really great cars. My other Camry is not like this Camry. It's a really, really clean example. It does have one little ding that I might get taken out, but it's a really clean example, low mile example of what these 90s Camrys are. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've really missed making videos for you, and I'm glad to be back. Get out, enjoy your automotive ownership, and I'll catch you in the next one.